Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be working in my little journal here that I made the other day. It's part of a group that I made for my shop, and because I actually have run out of smaller journals, with a smaller kind of format to work with, I decided to pull this one out for my personal use. I've got a little envelope of ephemera that I include with all of my journals that I thought I'd try to work with today. Some fun photos. And this is a page that I started the other day, and I kind of lost my enthusiasm and moved on. But there's lots of pages in here, smaller little inclusions and maps, double-sided scrapbook paper. Some of the scrapbook paper I've printed grid to write on, and all kinds of fun stuff. So my new to me journal is what I'm going to be working with today, and I'm just going to go ahead, jump in, and as usual, if I have anything to share, I'll go ahead and pop in and talk about it. So in case you're new to my channel, which is probably pretty likely, this page right here, the way I prepped it is the way I usually prep my pages. Is I do a layer of gesso, and then I attempted to do some, I'm usually a lot more successful at stencils, and for some reason I just lost it on this one. And it didn't come out quite the way I was hoping, so I think it kind of made me lose a little enthusiasm about doing this page. But then I went ahead and put some tissue, just a glue stick, and then the tissue paper, and then wax paper over that. Hold on. And then I'll lay the wax paper over all of it, and then I'll go over it with my brayer. So I've done it quite a few times in my other videos, but I thought I'd just go ahead and share that part. Like I said, I don't really have much of a plan. I just really want to have fun and do some journaling. And actually today, unusual for me, I've been in one of my writing moods, my journaling moods. So I'm going to definitely work on both sides, try to make them cohesive, which is always a challenge, super fun, finding pieces that kind of bring both of them together. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep going, and I'll break in if I have something else to share. Unfortunately, my dog has decided that she wants to play in the same room. If she hears me talking, she thinks I'm talking to her. Yeah, go play. So this is something I picked up. I wish I could remember who it was that I saw doing this on the corners. I'm sure a lot of people do this, but it just makes it so much easier to just go ahead and get the corners so that they will stay down, and then put glue stick on the other parts. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, but I'm back to doing it again lately, so thought I'd share. I printed this on sticker paper. It's a digital download that I got on Etsy. If I remember, I'll try to link the shop down below in the comments, in the description, I mean. in case you're interested, because I really do rely a lot on those downloads for my journaling spots. And, you know, I always keep just a little, you never know when a small little spot might work out for you. So I keep all of them. She's got to go there. She looks like she has an opinion. She's very encouraging. I like her. I got this from an old work basket magazine. I picked up at a thrift store for 10 cents. So I bought all of them. They were all from like the 50s and 60s. I'll show you just a second. Let me put this down. The brayer's awesome when you have little sticky things on your fingers and you don't want to get them on your work. So here are the little work basket magazines that I picked up at the thrift store. Some of them are from the 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s. I got a really huge stack. It was worth about, I think I probably spent maybe $3 on them. It was awesome. So there's the basics on that one. Now I'm going to try to work on this one and see if I can kind of bring some of those same tones over. Just because to me it's a fun exercise. It's not necessary. If it's not something you're into, I totally get it. But it's just, I find it to be kind of a, you know, just kind of a fun challenge, which, you know, I like a small challenge once in a while. This is a newspaper from Japan that I've had for years. I keep reusing it. I tea-dyed it. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to work out because this ink pad is really old, even though I haven't really used it much. But they don't last forever. So if you like that background of symbols, different cultures, different languages, there's lots of books out there, different language books to use. You don't have to necessarily look for a newspaper. I'm actually running out finally. But I also have been lucky enough to find a few books written in Japanese that I could use for the same kind of project. So I don't know if I want to leave that spot to journal or if I want to cover it up. That might be enough room for me to just kind of jot down a thought. Kind of liking that green though. This is a Tim Holtz from an ephemera pack. It's kind of big though. It's kind of a big butterfly. Oh, that one kind of blends. I don't know. I wish you were here to help me. Just kind of dark. I like that one. I'll go with that. So somebody that I used to work with years ago gifted a box full of old family photos that they had gone through and got the ones that they want, and I mean it was just a gold mine of photos. Absolutely love. I'm gonna put some of them in my shop. But that dog is just so adorable. Might have to trim him up a little bit though. I kind of hate to, but whoopsie. That is why I use this. I feel like it needs something under it. Green. I'm going to try some of this tape and see if that'll pop him a little. Yeah, kind of pull some of that green from this side over into that and kind of balance it out a little bit. So a lot of these ephemera pieces that are slick on the back, I use the roller. Because the glue stick just doesn't do the trick. Be sure and get the antenna. Yeah, I like it like that. I tend to overthink. Best not to. This is some vintage saver stamps that people used to put in books to buy things like toasters and dishes and different things. Getting there, but not quite. All right. Well, you know, between the painting and the tissue paper, and I think I'm going to call this one done. So now I'm going to go ahead and go over it with my pencil. I've had a couple of questions about why, or you know, why I do the pencil the way I do. So I love that it pops the elements away from the page, And then I go back over it with the pencil to erase any issues, mistakes, which I usually have quite a few of. And then it blends it. Not only does it kind of remove it in some of the spots, but it also kind of blends it. So it kind of distresses, it kind of gives it a kind of a grungy look, you know, a little bit of a distressed look, and kind of makes things that are, you know, this paper's new, you know, this is a new embellishment. It kind of makes some of the newer pieces look a little bit older, and kind of, you know, it brings cohesiveness to the whole page. It's almost like, because it's all framed in and everybody's colored, it almost kind of makes it all look like one piece. So that's the explanation behind the reason why I do the pencils. So I'm going to go ahead and clean my area, and then I'll start my pencil. So what I tend to do when I'm working on a project, because I'm lazy, is I just throw everything into a box. That's what this is. You know, I just throw everything in there so that it's super fast and I'm not spending too much time cleaning, because if I spend too much time cleaning, I lose my enthusiasm or my inspiration. So inspiration for me can go right out the window if I'm spending too much time fussing and cleaning. And then it makes it kind of fun to go back later and go through those boxes and use them again. It makes it kind of an eclectic, plus you're stash busting. So a little bit about these erasers that I use. I get them in the art area that I pick up these pencils, at least at Hobby Lobby. That's where they keep them. And then because they can get, they're really good quality, first of all. You know, they just they don't tear the paper up. But also what I like about them is, what I do is I'll use it until it doesn't have much of a tip on it anymore. And then I'll throw it on my regular pencil, you know, tips, because those are just for writing notes and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not too worried about it, but it's kind of a nice way to reuse them if you're not, you know, if they kind of get worn down, just put them on your regular pencil tips and use them that way. So all of my pencils have, because the erasers on pencils have a tendency, it seems like, to dry out. And these don't. My dog's back. She thinks I'm talking to her again. And I use a brush to try to get as much of the eraser off of there, because if I use my hand, I just smear the pencil, the lead. Sometimes if my pencil's not sharp enough, it won't get in, it won't get close enough to the edge. So, and that's kind of the idea, is to kind of have a shadow or a contrast there. So try not to get too fussy with it, but another thing about these erasers is they're pretty nice to, when you're using, because these images that I get from these vintage magazines can be delicate sometimes, and these erasers have a tendency to be gentle. There. All right. So there it is, my little frog. Of course, a butterfly. I realized that I covered a lot of this paper after spending so much time looking for it, but just, you know, a couple of little butterflies flying here and there. That's good enough for me. I almost feel like I'd like to have some sort of butterfly over here. You know, I have some butterfly stamps I probably should have used, but yeah, I could add that later. I feel like this is not as, but maybe when I put the journaling on there, it'll look a little bit better. So, all right, well, that's it. Thank you very much for stopping by my channel, and I hope you enjoyed my little page spread here. I'll be sharing more of this journal as weeks go by, and thanks as usual for stopping by. Have a great day. Bye.